On this, well, it was really overcast this morning, but it looks like it's brightening up now outside. How are we doing? Let me know how's the weather where you are. We're gonna be doing a beautiful pendant today. We got a whole bunch of mixes on the website. I'm just gonna bring one up to show it to you. However, I'm gonna have to put you down on the mat and talk you through it, because it's a really easy, quick way using minimal materials to make something something stunning for yourself. Or if you go for the bundle, then you're gonna have, well, either gonna have one color to match every single clothes you have, or you're gonna have loads and loads of them you will be able to give away. So let me just put you, actually, what shall we do? Shall we go to the website for, I'm gonna put you down on my mat first, and I'm gonna bring these in and tell you the colors so you can tell me which one you like the best. I can demo with any color you like. I have got all of them here, so that's not a problem. These are sort of really good pendant size, but they would be a good size for an earring as well. So the offer we got on today is not just a bundle, but we got offer on the singular kits as well. So you can grab a couple if you want to make earrings. Right, okay, so what I am going to do, I'm quickly going to bring up the website so I can tell you exactly the right names for these, because you know me, I always forget names. So, okay, Aqua is the first one, which is this beautiful one, Aqua Pearls, Aqua Seed Beads, and then you have that beautiful Rivoli inside it, just in the middle. Very, very easy way to make a pendant. Let's just put it there. Next one is the, and I have got black pearls. However, the seed beads I have added with them, it's like a really dark gray color, rather than black. So it kind of gives it a nice frame, but it's still this within the same sort of colorways there. Right, next color is the buttermilk, which is this one. I love this one. So it comes with the pearls actually called buttermilk here, and the seed beads are kind of like off white with a hint of lemon in them. I really do love those seed beads, because sometimes when you work with just white, everything else next to it can look like a little bit sort of, I don't know, dirty or something like that. But sometimes when you're working with buttermilk colors, so even if I put the buttermilk next to white, it does look really nice. But then equally you can wear it with golds, you can wear it with all sorts of any warmer tones, browns, warmer tone colors as well. Next one is the cobalt purple. I got so many colors. Quickly, I love this one. This is one of my favorite. I'm going to bring this up. So it's the pearls got like a hint of purple in them. The seed beads are kind of like got like a rainbow finish on them. That's the iris color in them. And then the Rivoli is purple itself. Next one is the French gray. French gray, where's the French gray? That is this one. I've got so many colors. French gray. Loving the hematite seed beads with that one. Next one is the green. So we got a green one as well. Spring is coming up, and equally those ones are great for Christmas as well. Next one is ivory, which is using this beautiful gold seed beads. Next one is the lagoon. So all of the pendants are 3 for 2, and they are $1.99 each. So you can't really go wrong. So you get 3 pendants for £4, or if you go for the big bundle, then you get all of them. Next one on the list is orchid. Where's the orchid? Orchid. That's the light purple. That's the light orchid, orchid. So this one is the light orchid, more like a violet, sort of a hint of violet in there as well. Next one is the light purple, which is this one. Next one is the magenta. Love, love, love the magenta, nice and pink. Next one is the mahogany rose. Mahogany rose, where are you? That's this one. Beautiful color. The Rivoli itself is rose. Next one is red. We got red and we got ruby red with this one as well. So you got a lighter red and then you got dark red. Next one is rose pink, which is this one, a really nice light color, perfect for spring, but kind of like have got like a vintage look about it. Next one is ruby red, so this is the darker one of the reds. Next one is the silver dust, which is this one. Loving this one. Silver dust. Next one is the teal. We got the white, which is with this beautiful sea foam, very sort of summery color, this one. And then we got the wisteria, which is this one right here. I hope I haven't missed any out. I hope I haven't missed any of it. I got one here on my mat and I'm not sure if I missed that one out. Let me just scroll back. No, maybe that color is not available anymore. So it's a PDF download as well, and if you want the whole mixture for $19.99, you get 20 color bundles, so you get all 20 colors all together. Now they're perfect as a pendant. They're kind of not too big to make an earring as well. If you wanted to, you could do all sorts of different things. You could connect these up as well if you have, you know, if you wanted to make a bracelet, just sort of using some other beads, or even with seed beads as well. You could link them up in all sorts of different ways. I'm just gonna sort of put some colors up on here, sort of going one color into another, but you could make a really nice ombre bracelet as well, because you wouldn't be using, if you make a bracelet, the seed beads at the top, but then you could use the seed beads to link the larger pearls next to each other, or you can either link them in that way and have a nice sort of bracelet going along, or even necklace as well, because you could link them in all sorts of different ways. So you could do so many different things with it. Right, okay, so let's get started. I'm quickly gonna say hello before I get started. Good morning, Elaine. Lucy, good morning. Joy, good morning. Mina, good morning. Hello, David. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Charlotte. Or shall I say good night, lovey? Pauline, good morning. No sound. Oh, look, I haven't even looked at it. As anybody else can hear me, please do let me know. Is it just Janice, or is it me who's got no sound? Joe, good morning. I think most people would have said if it was me. I'm just saying love these. Morning, Angela. Tracy, good morning. She says, thanks for the bubble tutorial last night, Kitty. I have put a picture of my finishing one on Facebook BeadClub page. Hope you like it. I will have a look. We had the BeadClub workshop last night from 6, and I think we're here until like 8:30, making a covering for one of the baubles. We do it once a month all throughout the year, so by the time Christmas comes, we're going to have a whole tree full of beaded baubles. Good morning, Linda. Dolan Watford, she says, good morning, Mina. Ojo, how are you? Lucy. Right, okay, so I am going to could you do a herringbone necklace to go with the pendants? Absolutely, David. We have got a page for the herringbone necklace. It's very, very easy technique. and they do look really nice to put on the pendants as well. Right, okay, so I have Joyce saying have sand, good. Okay, so let's get started. So which one shall I demo with? We got so many. Like, these are the things when I make something like this, I just like kind of like want to put them down and I just want to look at them because they're so sparkly and they're so they're just so nice. I think I'm gonna do one of these. No, that's not gonna start. Something which is gonna show up very well on the camera. So let's just have a look which one. The hematite will show up nicely. I think the hematite will show up nicely. Just go for like a neutral color this morning. I'm gonna zoom in so you can really see what we're doing, and I am gonna grab the beads. So they all come in a little packet just like that. Everything is in there for you to make a pendant. You got your seed beads, you got your pearls, you got a little crystal as well, and as well the beautiful little Rivoli to go into the middle. So everything is there for you. Needle and thread is on extra if you need it. We don't really need much thread to make a pendant at all. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee. I don't know if Camille is on this morning, but usually she keeps me in track and drinking my coffee. Right, very easy technique. How we're going to do this is, I haven't even taken you to the website this morning. I don't know. I'm not 100% this morning, I have to admit, but I just have to get on with it. Very quickly, pop you watch the website before we start the demo. There we go. So let me just get to the right window. That one. There we go. So by now you know the drill. It's TotallyBeads.co.uk you have to go to. I'm just going to go back to the main page to show you can come into two different ways. So you can click on this big button here which says video tutorials, or you go into categories and get into video tutorials. There are hundreds of tutorials going back the last 3 years. We got many. Today is a Rivoli pendant. We named it Cassandra, and there is many different colors on there. $1.99 to make a pendant. You got 3 for 2 on all of them. So for £4 you can make 3 pendants. I think that is a really good value. Now if you wanted to, they are big enough to be, well, or big enough or small enough to make them as earrings. So you could, if you wanted, you could have 2 or 3 of the same color, and you could have a pendant and a pair of earrings as well. Really, it's up to you. Beautiful, loads of colors. Quick makes as well. So if you're making gifts, they are perfect for that one as well. Right, coming back to my mat. There we go, and we're gonna get started. So the way how we're gonna make this is we're gonna make the base first. So we're gonna start with the larger pearls and seed beads to kind of like make a housing for our Rivoli to sit on top of it. And then once we sort of add the loops, we're gonna add the Rivoli in it, and finally we're gonna work our way up and make a little bail at the top. So I'm going to start by, it doesn't actually matter if you start with a pearl or if you start with the seed beads. I'm going to start with 1 pearl, 2 seed bead, 1 pearl, 2 seed bead, all the way down until you have got all 4 pearls on there and 4 sets of seed beads as well. So if you start with a pearl, then finish with a seed bead. If you started with a seed bead, then finish with the pearl. Right, so I got all 4 sets down on there. And I'm going to come from the other side, and I'm going to go through all of them from my tail end. Just to form a nice base. I'm going to wrap the tail end on my finger so it's not going to move around. Now you could knot your tail end and your working end together. However, we're going to have to come backwards and forwards in these beads quite a lot, so you will be safe. I'm going to go past my tail, so I went all the way around. I'm going to go past my tail. I'm going to go through the next bead next to pearl and one seed bead. So I want to come out in between the two seed beads I have on there. So there we go. And from here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up 11 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I'm going to jump sort of kind of like back at myself, and I want to go through. I want to create a seed bead loop above this pearl. So I'm going to jump back at this pearl. I'm going to go in between those two seed beads, and then the pearl and the seed bead I'm just coming out of. So I want these seed beads to hug my pearl there. And I'm going to pull this up. There we go. So it's kind of like, it doesn't matter if it sits to the side. After the next step, it's gonna start to get into place. Now, to get into position to add the next lot of seed beads, I'm gonna go through the next seed bead, pearl, seed bead. So if you kind of like want to think about it, a seed bead, pearl, seed bead is kind of like one unit. Now this time what I want to do is I'm gonna pick up 8 seed beads, because I want to borrow some seed beads from the loop before, because I want this loop to kind of sit towards the middle. So first we picked up 13, I'm picking up 8. And I'm going to borrow 3 seed beads from the one before. So I'm going to go down on 1, 2, 3 seed beads from the loop before, and then I'm going to come across the seed bead, pearl, and seed bead might not be able to take it through in one go, to add the seed beads on top of here. There we go. And then I'm going to go through the next seed bead, pearl, seed bead, and repeat this again. Going down on 1, 2, 3 and across. So I'm creating loops on top of every single pearl I have there. Any questions so far? Do let me know if you got any questions at all, so I can answer it for you. If you put a Q in front of your question, then I can very easily answer it for you. So before I'm going to add the final loop, so I'm going to go through next seed bead, pearl, seed bead. Before I'm going to add the final loop here, what I need to do, I need to come up of some of these beads. So I'm going to come up 3 seed beads on this side, which is the very first loop we added as we got started. And then I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go down on the 3 seed beads on this side. There we go. So when I pop this down, you can see we got kind of like 5 seed beads on the top of every single pearl, and we got 3 seed beads which is shared by the loops themselves. Right, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our Rivoli in here. So I'm gonna just pop it in. At the moment it's quite fluid. I'm just going to sort of move it around a little bit, and then it's just gonna pop in there. It can still fall out up until the point we do the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weave my thread around. It doesn't matter what thread path or what pearl you're going to go to. I'm going to weave my thread around. It's fallen out, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to weave my thread around. So I'm going to go into a pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, and I'm going to come in any of the loops. So again, it doesn't really matter which direction I am going. So I'm gonna come this way. And what I want to do next is to add a single seed bead just in here, which will anchor in our Rivoli. So I'm gonna go through, there's 5 seed beads here on the top, and I'm gonna go through 4 of them. I pop that Rivoli back in because we're gonna adding those anchor beads in now. There we go. And I'm just going to gently hold it down, make sure all the loops are on the top. There we go. Just pull it out. Come on, in you pop. There we go. And I'm just going to hold it down with my thumb at this point. So I'm coming out, just counting the 5 seed beads at the top, or if I'm counting from all the way from the bottom, then it's 7th, but I'm coming at the 4th seed bead, just counting the 5 on the top. I picked up 1 seed bead, and then I'm gonna rotate my pendant, and I got 5 seed beads here on this side as well. I want to go through the middle 3 and pull this up nice and tight, and then I'm turning it, picking up another single seed bead. Again, I want to go through the middle 3 on the top here, pulling it tighter, and as I'm going around, it tightens above my Rivoli, and the middle 3 as well, pulling it tight. And finally, the last, it's the Rivoli can wiggle around until you're adding the very last seed bead in. There we go. And then I'm going to tighten this up, because the whole point of adding as less beads as we can on the top of the Rivoli, because we don't want to cover up the Rivoli, so we want to see as much we can the Rivoli itself. But if you like sort of work your way too much in, then you're covering up that beautiful Rivoli itself. So I added my single beads in. Before I go any further, what I like to do, I like to run around one more time just in this inner circle. So I'm kind of like making it a bit tighter, making sure it's nice and tight, as well as I'm filling up the holes of the seed beads with thread. So therefore that middle section is going to turn out more round. And can you see, as I'm going around, I'm pulling tighter, the seed beads are pushing the Rivoli against the pearl behind, and there is no way that can fall out at all now. Now the next step we're going to do is you're going to go and add the sort of the top of the bail here. You can add it in sort of any single pearl, so it doesn't really matter which one you add it, which top you add it onto. So I'm just going to go down. As I'm right here, I'm going to go into this pearl, and I'm going to add it above this pearl. So I want to come out the pearl, one of the pearls. It doesn't matter which pearl you're coming out. I don't want to, I'm not going from in between the 2 seed beads. I just want to come out the pearl itself. I'm going to pick up 10 seed beads. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and I'm going to come through that pearl again. So I'm having sort of a loop above the pearl. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go up, and I want to come out. I'm going to go into this loop I just created, and I want to come out or just after sort of the 5th seed bead, so I'm right in the middle there. Now depending how big you want to make your bail, you can make it smaller, you can make it larger, and this is kind of like a cheat way of doing herringbone stitch. I'm going to pick up let's say I would suggest to do between 12 and 18. I'm going to pick up let's pick up 14, just like more than 12 but less than 18. So that's, I got 1 2 sorry, before I've lost my crystal, but before you pick up the seed beads, you need to pick up your crystal, and then I'm gonna pick up 14 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have to add the little crystal on there, but it's just nice to have a little decoration. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now I've got 14 seed beads on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back into the crystal, and you can see like our thread, we came up from this side of the pendant. So I'm going to come back because our thread is connected to that seed bead. So I'm going to come back to that crystal, and I'm going to continue the other way on this loop. And I'm going to make sure this is nice and tight so I don't have lagging threads. Now I'm going to go around, so I'm going to go in the last seed bead. I'm going to go into the pearl, and I'm going to come up. Make sure it doesn't loop around your bail. Oh, there we go. Come on, come on, come on. I don't want a naughty thread today, thank you. Naughty thread, don't be naughty. There we go. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to go up, and I want to come out of the crystal one more time. So I'm going to add a second loop. Exactly same number of seed beads. So I'm just going to come up through that crystal. And I'm going to pick up 14 seed beads. Yeah, 14 seed beads. I'm just like thinking, did I say 12 or did I say 14 for a second? Oh, you know me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And I'm gonna go and repeat the same what I did just before. So I'm gonna go down the crystal and go the opposite way. So I'm securing this loop on there. And now once more I'm gonna weave my thread up, and I'm gonna come out just after the crystal bead. So what I'm looking to do next is to tie those loops together, so to create like a little stitching in between those loops. So I have got a nice, so they kind of sit together. So I got to the 2 loops just there. I'm just going to straighten it out. I'm going to come into any of the loops. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to come through 1 seed bead here. And as I came up on the right hand side in 1 loop, I'm going to go down on the left hand side. Just 1 seed. Now I'm going to jump back to the right hand side, and I'm going to go up the first and the second one. Then I'm just going to come down on the second one on the left hand side. Then I'm going to come up in the second and third one on the right hand side. So what I'm doing here is creating, coming down on the just the third one on the left hand side, going up in the third and the fourth, coming down on the fourth. So what I'm doing here is creating a thread path in between the beads on the loop, so kind of like zipping the 2 loops up. So this is the easiest way to do a herringbone. Well, it is like herringbone stitch, but we have added the loops before. Herringbone look-alike bail, because you already have got the beads there, so you do not need to pick any more up. We added them in a quick way, and now all we're doing is just adding the little bit of thread path, so our bail is going to sit nice and straight, and those loops will be together. There we go. Coming up again. always going through 2 on one side and just coming back down on the other side. And as I'm going around, I'm just rotating this around so I can do the back of the pendant, or I can turn my pendant, but then I will be going up in 1 bead and coming down in 2 beads. So just follow the pattern around, whichever way is easiest, the most easiest for you to hold the pendant. Hold it that way. There we go. I'm almost all the way to the bottom. And of course you can make the size of the bell you want or you need. If you got like a thicker chain you wanted to add it, then add a couple of extra seed beads. If you got a thinner chain, then you can get away with a smaller one as well. Now if I wanted this as an earring rather than a pendant, then I would have just added 1 very small loop at the top, so probably about 5 or 7 seed beads, and would have connected that loop to my air wire. Or I would have added the air wire in instead of the crystal. When I picked up the first lot of seed beads, the first 10 seed beads, I would have picked up maybe 12 and add the air wire right onto that loop in the middle. So sort of sit it in between 2 seed beads. That would have worked nicely as well. Right, almost all the way around. And then we're just going to run around and secure our tail end and add a couple of extra beads in as we go. And I'll show you where exactly to do that. Don't forget, the offer is 3 for 2 today on these pendants. They're £2 each, so for £4 you do get to make 3 pendants, which I think is really good. Or you can go for the big bundle, and then it's even cheaper, because I think the big bundle is make 20 for £20, so like then they become £1 each, and they don't take long to make. Quite enjoyable as well. So I'm come all the way down, and I have added a thread sort of link in between every single seed bead there. So what I want to do now, I want to run around the bottom one more time, and I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go all the way around, and then I'm gonna come back to my tail. I'm gonna knot my working thread and my nail together. Nail? I think I need coffee. I think I need more than coffee this morning. Working thread and tail, not nail, and together, and just work the ends in. I don't know what's going on this one. I don't know what's going on any morning, but this morning especially. Right, I'm going down on the crystal, through the crystal, there we go, into those seed beads. I'm going to go through these 5 seed beads, and as you can see, there is a tiny bit of gap at the bottom of these seed beads, and kind of like the seed beads in between those pearls. So I'm going to pick up a single seed bead just to fill that gap there. So I picked up a single seed bead, and can you see that just kind of like just gonna sit there, just twisted. They're just gonna sit there, so it's gonna look like this bell is sort of kind of like a part of the structure there, and by filling that one seed bead in, it's just gonna make it look like continuous. I'm gonna go all the way around. I'm not adding any more seed beads until I get to the other side. So I'm not adding single seed beads to the other corners, just those. And when I get to the top, I'm going to go through those 2 seed beads. I'm going to pick up a single seed bead, and I'm going up in that loop one more time. The last time I'm going up into this loop, across just under the crystal, down the other side, and I'm going to take my thread exactly where my tail end is. Sort of wiggling my needle in those seed beads, taking it exactly where my tail is, and then I'm gonna knot my tail and my working end together. So I'm just gonna knot this together. Lucy's saying it's a nice little project, and she popped the link in there for us for Facebook. And there we go. So just double knotted it, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this thread first, which I got threaded onto my needle. I'm just gonna go through this pearl, just like that. Gonna pull it tight and trim. Then I'm gonna add the needle to my tail end and take that through a couple of beads. Like, I never want to cut my thread off right next to the knot. So I'm just gonna thread this up, take this through a couple of beads, or even taking it through the same pearl. I've taken the other one through, that's fine, as long as I'm not cutting the thread right next to the knot itself. So I'm just gonna go through that pearl. Come on, just wiggling in, because we knotted it, we made it quite tight. I just pulled my thread off, naughty thread. I didn't want to cut, like I only got like about an 8-inch tail here. I didn't want to cut too much thread off. So going through that pearl, pulling this in as well, and then trim, and we got a beautiful little pendant. Has anybody got any questions? Please put a Q in front of your question so I can make sure that I answer it for you. So this one is kind of like a little bit smaller bail. The original sample had a little bit larger bail on it. It's depending on which size you want to or you need to fit your necklace. They look very pretty in a quick make, absolutely. You could probably make one in 20 minutes, if that, or maybe 15 minutes. You need brandy in your coffee? Yeah, maybe. Maybe, but I can't. You can't drink on the job, Camille. I have to wait until tonight. I got a live at 7 p.m. Kitty Robinson Designs, so maybe after that. But then it won't be coffee. Then I don't need coffee, so I can just have a nice glass of wine. Right, okay, so we got so many different colors with this one, $1.99 each. I'm going to zoom out. And I'm gonna pop some of. Just gonna bring some of these other colors back, because I just love, like, if you go for the big bundle, you get 20 different colors, and then you could have like every you would have a color for every single outfit almost in your wardrobe. Like, because there is like tails, there will be one to match, and there is sort of more summery colors. There's more purplies. There's so many different colors in there. Some of them, like this one, looks like a bit more vintagey. And then, of course, if you decide that you want to gift them away, then you got loads and loads and loads there in the bundle to gift away. Let me just move those down a little bit so you can see these ones as well. And that buttermilk, last but not least. I didn't really, there we go, that's better. See, make them straighter. Sometimes, like, I sit to the angle to the table, and then like my straight is not the table straight. There we go. So we got so many different buttons. Lou is saying click that like button. Every single like and every single share really helps the channel out. So I'll be really thankful. And then also, if you subscribe to the channel and you turn the notification on, then you won't miss. We do go live 3 times a week on Totally. I go live on every Wednesday night on my channel, which is Kitty Robinson Design. So you can join me for that. I'm not sure what we're going to be playing with tonight. We were playing with brick beads, which is like a session, just sort of playing and making and just sort of hanging out. Linda's saying I made a couple of these, easy to make. Thank you, Kitty, for another clear tutorial. Or thank you, Linda. I'm so appreciative, like all of you, like always turning up and watching me and supporting me, buying the kits, yeah, liking, subscribing, and I'm just really Yeah, it's nice. It's so nice to feel the love, and we're all like-minded people here. We all just like doing beading. We just like tinkering and do all sorts of different things. Right. Okay. So 7 p.m. I'm on Kitty Robinson Design, so you can join me there, or I'll be back next Wednesday. Natalie's gonna be with you on Friday. I'm gonna pop in and heading into the Bead Club today, but it's not me teaching us, but actually lovely Laura is coming in and she's going to be teaching chainmail in the Bead Club, so do check the Bead Club ads as well, beadclub.online. And that's it for me today, and I see you soon. Everybody have a beautiful week, have a beautiful weekend, keep on beading, keep on crafting, and I see you very, very soon. Bye, 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 bye.